Hello, happy Friday. Okay, I've been learning a lot about wealth the last few days, which is a topic that lots of you know I'm very passionate about. And something came up that I believe in, I teach about, I like to educate around, but I'm not doing it as proactively as I should. And frankly, it's to the detriment of the people I love. And so first, I apologize. And second, I'm here to teach. So in the topic of wealth building, we were really talking about converting primary residences into rental properties. So when you go to buy a house, you can put a whole variety of amounts down, but let's say you're pretty kind of standard and do about 5%. You could buy a home for 5% down easily. Easily as in it's easy to get financing. So that's about $15,000 if we're using a $300,000 example. If you go to buy that same house as an investment property, you're gonna have to put $60,000 down. 60, 4 times what you would need to purchase it as a primary. For most people, right, that's a lot of money. That could easily be double someone's salary in a year. And so that's a lot of money. And so a lot of people assume that having a real estate portfolio is out of reach for them because they look at their own house and think like, well, how would I just go do this, 5, 10 times? It's actually quite easy. And that's what we were talking about. And what I'm realizing is I'm not talking about how easy it is enough, right? If someone talks to me about wanting to have a rental property or portfolio, I can nerd out all day on that. But when someone comes to me and says, we're thinking about selling our house and moving to a new one, then I typically err on the side of providing them that service as opposed to saying, well, why? Why are you wanting to sell this to buy? So here's the takeaway. And what I'm going to do is put together a couple of series of videos. So for the next few days, you're going to see some videos come out that are all about the actual integration of the short, the long version of what we're about to talk about here, which is if today you bought a $300,000 house and it appreciated 4% year over year for the next 30 years, and every 2 years you went and did that again. You bought a house that's, 2 years worth of 4% appreciation higher. So year 1, you buy a house, year 3, you buy a house, year 5, 7, and 9, you buy 5 houses in 10 years. Cool thing is, because they're all primary residences, each time you go in with 5% down, in 30 years, when that first house is paid off, you would have made off of your rental properties and seen an increase in value of 5.8 million. No, that's actually 5.6. I lied to you. Sorry, you just lost money. $5.6 million. $5.6 million. And you know what's crazier about that? What's crazier about that is the monthly equivalent of that, of the saving that you would have to be putting down to kind of continue that progression of buying a house, if we use that $300,000 house example, is about $600 to $700 for the first 2 or 3 houses and $700 to $800 a month for the second 2 or 3 houses. So $600 to $800 a month saved for 10 years, but purposefully deployed by purchasing real estate would give you an estimated $5.6 million worth of property and income 10 years or 30 years from now. That's crazy, right? That is crazy. And that's taking such a small thing, but just being so purposeful about it. And why I'm frustrated at myself for not teaching more about this is that's how Dustin and I started our portfolio. We bought our first house. It was $150,000 with $4,000 down. That house makes us $700 a month now. A month. We make double on an annual basis what we used to buy it. And we're not talking about that was 40 years ago or we bought that house 8 years ago. 8 years ago. And so what I'm getting to say is building a real estate portfolio isn't fancy. It's not something that you can't do or that it's too complicated to understand. It's something that the education should come easy, and I'm here to provide it. So if you're interested in learning the detail behind how all of that works, I'm going to have a couple of videos over the next few days kind of breaking it down. And of course, if that's part of your wishes and something that you'd like to do long term, then let me know. I'd be happy to set up a buyer consult so we can start kind of getting you on that journey. Have a great day. Happy holidays. Bye-bye.